Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashivasamarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Varyantam Mande Guru Paramparam Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punaha Ishvaro Guru Ratmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ऋकारस्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्तन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते ॐ सहना भवतु सहनो भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः विषेम देवहितञ्जदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 ॐ नमो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकृद्भ्यो नमः नमो नमः श्री गौडपाद श्री शंकर भगवत्पाद सुरेश्वराचार्येभ्यः नमो गुरुभ्यः प्रज्ञानां सुप्रदानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्तविष्ठान् पुनरपि दिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ्मायया भोजयन्नः मायासङ्ख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यतन्नतोऽस्मि ॐ चतुर्थः प्रातः क्रमः प्राप्तः वक्तव्यः इत्याह नान्तः प्रज्ञम् इत्यादिना सर्वशब्दप्रवृत्तिनिमित्तशून्यत्वात् तस्य शब्द अनभिधेयत्वम् इति विशेषप्रतिषेधेनैव तुरीयं निर्दिदिक्षति Mandukya discusses the four padas. The three padas were initially spoken about: the Bahishprajnaha, Antahprajnaha, Prajnanaganaha. Or in terms of the states of experience, these are Vishwa, Taijasa, Prajnaha. The Vakan experience, the dream experience, and the deep sleep experience. These are the three padas. Within these three, and an in-between state of the Vakan Ubayatah Prajna, it is going to talk about. Within those states, all our experiences can be bundled. So those are the three padas. Now the question is, there should be a fourth pada, because Soyamatma Chatushpad is how the pratigna is. There are four quarters. Now what is this fourth pada? Kramapraptaha Vaktavyaha. So in the order, because you have said that there are four quarters and you have listed down the three quarters, you owe an explanation on what is the fourth quarter. Because our experience doesn't seem to show any other quarter. We have only waken, dream, and deep sleep. Even the in-between can be categorized either as waken or dream, right? Sometime you haven't fully gotten woken up. It's a semi-dream and you are still experiencing people around you. So it's like we are coming out of anesthesia or something, for example, right? So there are states which are kind of in between. Can't be called as dream, nor can be called as waken. But you can still categorize it. Okay, it is more or less, you can say it is vacant, because the moment you are recognizing people around you, even though you have some, vagueness in your cognition, it is still kind of called vacant, right? Now within these, all your experiences can be summarized. Now what is this chaturtha padaha? So rather than saying what it is, the Shastra is saying na antah prajnam, na bahish prajnam, na ubhayatah prajnam, na prajnam, na aprajnam, na prajnanaganam. It is going to say that. So that is how it is starting the fourth pada. We saw all this, I am just recapping. Sarva Shabda Pravritti Nimitta Sunyatvat. Tasya Shabda Anabhideyatvam iti Vishesha Pratishedhenaiva Turiyam Nirdidekshati. It is not saying what is the fourth quarter, but it is saying what the fourth quarter is not. It is saying what fourth quarter is not. Why? Because Sarva Shabda Pravritti Nimitta Sunyatvam is there for the Vastu it is trying to reveal. What is Sarva Shabda Pravritti Nimitta Sunyatvam? Sunyatvam means absence. Absence of what? Pravritti Nimittatvam. The words are not capable of revealing it. Sarva Shabda Pravritti. The Vachyartha doesn't reveal it. We will see why. I think we saw, because the Jati Guna Karma alone can be revealed by words, because Atma is neither Jati nor Guna nor Karma nor all those 7 things that we said, right? Nayayika's classification, because Atma doesn't fall into any of those, and because of which it is not available for objectification, classification, categorization, any of those things. Sarva Sabda Pravritti Nimitta Sunyatvam is there. All words, Yato Vacho Nivartante, Apraapya Manasa Saha, all words bounce back because Vachyartatvam is not there for Brahman, because it's not known to you. Only what is known as objectified can be told to you, revealed to you using the words, which are Jati Guna, Karma, Vishesha, Samavaya, Abhavaha. All these categories of things only can be revealed to you. Whereas here there is Shabda Pravritti Nimitta Sunyatam. So what is implied? Shabda Anabhideyatvam means Abhidana Abhideya. Abhideya means that which is revealed by word. When I say a word tree, there is an object. That object is Abhideya. The word tree, the sound tree is Abhidana. So that Shabda, which is Abhidana, the sound tree, reveals an object which is tied to that word tree, is Abhideya. That kind of Abhideyatvam is not there for Brahman. Though there is a Shabda called Brahman, it doesn't bring any object to your mind. When I say tree, an object comes to your mind. When I say book, something comes to your mind. When I say Shiva, something comes to your mind. When I say anger, some concept comes to your mind. When I say Brahman, what comes? Nothing, right? It is vague. Because thus Abhideyatvam is not there for Brahman unless you are already a jnani. Then Brahman will bring something which is not objectified, which is Swaprakasha Vastu. But until that happens, nothing comes. So Anavideyatvam is there. Therefore, Vishesha Pratishedhenaiva Turiyam Nirdidekshati. But you have to use words to reveal something. So Vishesha Pratishedhena, the Pratisheda, Nisheda Mukha Vakyas, because na antah prajnam, na bahish prajnam is told. We will see in detail why this pratisheda, what pratisheda, all that. So I am just rushing it because we have seen this portion. शून्यमेव तर्हि तत् न मिथ्या विकल्पस्य निर्निमित्तत्वानुपपत्तेः शून्यमेव तत्. If you are saying that Shabda Anabhideyam, everything in this Jagat that I am aware of is revealable through words. If you have, people have been talking about this for thousands of years, and still you are saying, I cannot use a word and reveal it to you, means it is Shunya. There is nothing like that. It is a total absence of everything. You have a word called Brahman, which doesn't attach itself to any object, and therefore it is Sunyam. There is nothing called Brahman. It's just gas. People who don't understand these days, they say, no, it is all just fallacy. There is nothing called Brahman. Shunyameva tarhi tate. So it is a non-entity. In fact, there is nothing called Brahman is not what he is saying. Here he is saying the Brahman is Shunyam. Total void, absence of everything. So Bhashyakara says Mithya Vikalpasya Nirnimattatva Anupapattehe. So a Mithya cannot stand on a void. So he gave this example. We saw all this. Rajata Sarpa Purusha Mrigadrishnikadi Vikalpaha Shuktika Rajjustanu Usharadi Vyadirekena Avastu Aspadaha Shakyaha Nahi Kalpaitum. So you can say that I am seeing silver, I am seeing a snake, I am seeing a man, I am seeing water. But you can say this even though they don't exist. You can say I am seeing silver if you see the seashell. If you see the Shuktika, then you can make mistake that it is silver. The silverness is Mithya, but there is an Aspada which is Shuktika, the base on which you have superimposed a false notion. Similarly, I see a snake. It is not snake, there is no snake there, but then there is a rope lying there. Rajjuhu. Rope I am seeing. Snakeness I am superimposing. But it has a nimitta which is snake, which is rope. It is not nirnimitta. No, it is not. Okay. So Sarpa as its aspada on Rajjuhu. Purusha as its aspada on Sthanuhu. In the straw, I am seeing a man. The manness there is superimposed, but there is something underlying. Similarly, Mrigadrishnika can be seen, mirage water is seen because of the desert. Okay. So therefore, you can't say everything is Shunya. I am seeing something, though it is false, but it can't be Niravasta, Niraspada. So you have to have something underneath for you to make an error. Something has to be there so that you can mistake it to be something else. So what Bhashyakara says, in a total void, who is it that is seeing the Jagat and what is it being seen? Without any void, I mean, without anything there, if it is a total absence of everything, then what is it, what is there to go on? There is no possibility of error or anything. Therefore, an aspada has to be there. Evam tarhi pranadi sarva vikalpaspadatva turiyasya sabdavachyatvam iti na pratishedehi pratyayatvam udakadi adharasyaiva ghatadehe. If that is what you are saying, that there has to be an aspada, then there should be a sabdavachyatvam. That is what Purvapakshi is saying. See, you are saying the pranadi sarva vikalpa has its aspada in some vastu called Brahman. This prana, etc., you are seeing. It's not that you are not seeing. You are seeing this Jagat. You are seeing all this life forms. You are seeing the wake and dream, etc. And you are saying that is dependent on this Turiya, which is your Brahma Vastu. If that is the case, then that should also be Shabdavachyam. Like you are saying Shuktika and Rajatam. Even though Rajatam is false, Shuktika is truth. Now both are Shabdavachyam. You can, if you can say that this is silver, you can also say that this is seashell. Isn't it? Why now suddenly you are saying this is the Jagat is Shabdavachyam, whereas Brahman is Shabda, there is no Shabdavachyatvam in Brahman. Both should be of same type. Panadi sarva vikalpasya aspadatvat turiyasya Shabdavachyatvam. So it should be revealable. So now Shastra cannot, maybe it is saying something else. Why are you interpreting it this way? That is the question, right? Or his question is contesting this methodology itself of revealing. Or he is basically saying maybe you are not understanding what Shruti is trying to say. That is where the Purvapakshi is headed. Shabda Vachyatvam is not there. We have to see what is our Siddhanta. Brahman is Swaprakasham because it is your own Swarupa. It is Swaprakasham, at the same time it is non-objectified because it is that which objectifies everything. And whatever is objectified also is the same Vastu. Now, that which is objectifying is seeing a Jagat, but what is being seen has no independent existence. They all have their dependence on what is seeing. That is the Aspada. So, the Shuktika is like your Swarupa. Rajatam is what is the Jagat that is seen. Now, because that is there, this your Swarupa is Suprakasha. It doesn't need Sabdavachyatvam. You understand that? That is what is important. You don't have to reveal it because it is you. What has to be told is your wrong notions that what you are have to be negated. The moment those are negated, Atma Adityavat Prakashate. Like the sun, you don't need to use a torchlight to show the sun because the torchlight itself you are seeing only because there is sun. The torch that you will go and lift to put it on, right? You are able to look at the torch because there is sun. Now, are you going to use the torch, put it on, put a battery there, and then light it up to show the sun? So, the Sabda Vachyatvam, all Vachya Padarthas are known because of what? That is your Swarupa, and that is Swaprakasha. In fact, that is the only thing that is Swaprakasha. Everything else is known to it. So, Sabda Vachyatvam is not even required. So, Sabda Vachyatvam is not there. We are talking as though it's a defect. But honestly, it doesn't need Vachyatvam because it is Swatasiddham, Swaprakasham, Swayanjyotihi, Jyotishamapi Tajyotihi. That is the Siddhanta. Because before you arrive at it, he is just taking on the Purvapakshis just to make us go through the path of recognizing it. That's what. Evam tarhi pranadi sarva vikalpa aspadatva turiyasya sabdavachyatvam iti. Why can't it be directly told this is what is Brahman? You tell Satyam Jnanam Anantam, we say no. Just say this is it is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. So give the description. Satyatvam is there. Like our other Siddhantis, no? Satyam. Bhagavan always talks. Whatever he says is Satyam. Whatever he is, Bhagavan is Satyam. It doesn't change. Everything else is Anritam. And he is in heaven. Like that, they will then look at Satyam as a guna. Kalyana guna. Our Satyam and all is a very small Satyam, whereas Ishvara's Satyam is 100 times that kind of a Satyam. It stays forever. Like that, they give interpretations. And then, so this Shruti is a pramana. For them also it is pramana. And what is the pramana? Because it says, I believe, I trust. Shruti is given by Ishvara, Sriman Narayana, Sri Krishna, Parameshwara, whatever, right? Shiva. So because of which I trust, I believe. And in that he has said, I am Satyam. Though he is in heaven, he is Satyam. And he is Satyavak. He is, all these gunas are there. All Kalyana gunas are there. Thousands of gunas. We only know a few gunas. Ishvara gunas are all Anadi, Ananta. And then they are very Shakti. He is like a compassion to the power of infinite. He is like Shaktiman to the power of infinite. He is like knowledgeable to the power of infinite. So he has all these things, and that is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, and that Ishvara is what is this Jagat, this Padosya Vishwa Bhutani, Tripadasya Amritam Divi. So he is like beyond all this Jagat and all. This is only a very small fraction of his power, and we are all very insignificant, and we are his body. We remain that way. So the only thing is, you pray to the God, you do Ananya Bhakti, you surrender to Sharanagati, you do to the Ishvara, to Sriman Narayana or Sri Krishna or whatever, and then God will take you to the heaven. Now these are Vachyatvam, Shabda Vachyatvam. Directly Shruti Vakyas are interpretable if you make this kind of a meaning. Why do you need Nisheda Vakya? In fact, one Visishtadvaiti I was listening to the other day, a very famous person. Okay, this person says there are three types of Shruti Vakyas. One is Nisheda Vakya, the second is Vidhi Vakyas, and then third, or he says one is Dvaita, not even Vidhi Nisheda Vakya. He says one is Abheda Vakyas, then there is a Bheda Vakyas, which are, Dvaita Vakyas, and then third there are Ghataka Shruti, Bheda Shruti, Abheda Shruti, and Ghataka Shruti. And he says Shankara only focused on Abheda Shruti, Madhva only focused on Bheda Shruti, and it is Ramanuja who came and pulled this Ghataka Shruti, which like ties together the Veda and Abheda, and this Veda Vedavada, where like, Atma is seen as both the Chit, Achit, Ishvara all together, like the Tridandi Sannyasis. So which is like, they have Chit, Achit, and Ishvara, and then and the Adara of all the Sriman is Sriman Narayana, and then that is the Sadvastu, and Eka Vijnanena Sarva Vijnatam, this and that and all that. Now, why I am saying all this, there they say this Vachyatvam is there. Directly you can understand Shabda Vachyatvam. You don't need this Pratisheda Vakyas, Saprakashatma and all that. Okay. Now this Vachyatvam, you are saying Kalyana Guna, this and that. How do you know? What is your pramana is our question. How do you know? 1,000 times it is more Shaktiman is Bhagavan. How do you know? How do you know his compassion is, infinity powered? How? What is the pramana? Now that then there is all kinds of interpretations and notions and belief systems. So then this all they say is Grantha Pratipadya, book has told. Like all other religions say, no, books. My book has told this. The messenger was revealed by the God. That's all. Then it's a belief. Then from there on it is belief. So you choose to believe that particular person. Then the sabda, there is no sabda vachyatvam. You are believing that word. See here, Shruti, how are you taking Shruti? When we say Shruti is a pramana, Shruti reveals and creates an aparoksha jnana for you. The reason why we are saying aparoksha, it's not pratyaksha jnana. We can't say it is pratyaksha jnana because it is not available for sensory objectification. Your Swarupa is not available for sensory objectification, so we can't call it as a pratyaksha jnana. Whereas it is not a paroksha jnana also. Like in their case, all these Grantha Pratipadya fellows, for them, Ishvara is Nitya Paroksha only. Because there is, again, I think this recording is gone. No, it's going on. Okay. So this Grantha Pratipadya means what? It is Paroksha Ishvara only. It's not that God, Narayana came in front of them. For them also there is a Sarva Vyapitvam. In some form they are recognizing, accepting. But at the same time, it's a personified Ishvara with so much of guna. And that personification also, it is not like us. See, it's not that they are also saying this is a limited man who is standing in Vaikunta and all that. Much beyond that, I'm not denying that they have also accepted the Sarvavyapitvam in some way. Even Dvaitis accept Sarvavyapitvam. Okay. Because Ishvara is Hrideshe Arjuna Tishtati Brahmayan Sarva Bhutani. Bhagavan says no in Gita. So they have to also accept it. But then it's a personified Bhagavan. And that kind of a Vachyatvam they give to these texts. So it's a belief-based thing. Anyway, so now this and that, if it has to be, and where is the moksha for them? There is moksha is going to a loka only finally. And they talk about three types of Dvaitis talk about different kind of things. I was going through that. They say if you don't accept Dvaita, you will go to some kind of a worst naraka and all that. Whether you do dharma, it's okay. But you have to follow that practice. It's again very similar to the Abrahamic faiths. So now, so that is all. That is for us. It is Anirmoksha Prasanga only, because we are talking about a mukti when you are living Jivan Muktitvam. Okay, the Jivan Mukti is possible only if the what is the Mukta Vastu is recognizable when you are living. And that is what we are talking about. So right now you are Brahman. That's what Shastra says. Tattvamasi. You are now. So it's not, it doesn't qualify it at all. You are Brahman. That's it. It's not you will become. Tomorrow you can be Brahman. It's not a promise. It says you are. Now then that means why I don't know. So Pratishedaihi Pratyavayatvam. So by negating what all is your notion as who you are and what is Jagat, what is Ishvara, the moment all those are negated, then what happens? Because your Swarupa itself is Brahman, Swaprakashaha, Swayam Jyotihi, it reveals itself. In fact, it is revealing itself to you all the time, just that you don't recognize the Sarvavyapitvam. Because you confuse yourself to be all other things. And that confusion can be removed only by Pratishedaihi. So your experience is three states: waken, dream, deep sleep. And all those are, when the Pratisheda is done, then what is your Swarupa has to be self-evident, self-revealing. And that is what is Turiya. And that Turiya is there all the time. That is why you have to negate it at all the states. It's not a separate avastha. So Shabdavachyatvam na pratishedehi pratyavayatvam is what Purva Paksha is saying. Why can't you just say that this is what is Brahman? Why are you doing pratisheda? So Bhashyakara says, na pranadi vikalpasya satvat shuktigadishu iva rajatadehe. The prana etc. are asat. Because it is asat, it has to be negated. Like silver, there is no silver. You have to say it is not silver, then only you will look at it and say, oh, it is not silver, it is seashell, or it is a pebble stone. For you to look at it as a pebble stone, first you have to hit the notion that it is the silver is your notion. Nahi sadasatoho sambandha shabda pravritti nimitta bhak. So the question is, what was the Purva Pakshi question? Why can't you directly tell that this is what is the Sat? And that is connected to this asat that you are seeing. But Bhashyakara says the connection between Sat and Asat is not Shabda Pravritti Nimitta, because there is no connection. How can there be a connection between Sat and Asat? Yeah, how can a real be connected to a non-real? Non-real doesn't exist. So where is the question of connection? It is only your notion. Because it's only your notion, there is no, see, how can I connect silver to a pebble? How do you connect? There is no silver. If silver was there, even little bit of silver was there, I can say it is lying on top of pebble. There is no silver at all. Then where is the connection? So I can't say this is how Sat is Asat are related. Avastutvat napi pramanantara vishayatvam swarupena atmanaha nirupadikatvat. So why can't I use some other pramana? Instead of saying nisheda, you can say, okay, use telescope and then increase the capacity to look at something, and then Atma will be visible. Take a rat. The rat also has an Atma, right? And one dead or alive rat, put it in a cage, use some kind of a microscope and some X-ray lenses, and then pierce through the rat. You can see that Atma, right? You can say, no, pramanantara vishayatvam. So can't you use another pramana like enhanced pratyaksha, like a microscopic vision, microscopic X-ray vision to look at what is Atma? So Bhashyakara says, Napi pramanantara vishayatvam swarupena. It is not available for any pramana because it is whatever is objectified is not Atma. Anything that is available for idam, this cognition, is not Atma. Even emotion which is available for this cognition is not Atma. Therefore, Surupena Pramanantara Avishayam. It is not available for any other means other than Shrutivakya. And Shrutivakya also is Nisheda Mukena. It just makes you recognize. You have to understand. That is why we are not dogmatic after. See this, everybody says Shruti Brahmana, Shruti Brahmana, Shruti Brahmana. See, that is where. So every Astika Darshana, they say, this is Shruti Brahmana for me. Okay. And they give their own interpretation. Now, for them, Shruti is a dogma. I believe in Shruti and this is how I understand it and I stick to it because it was given. Adu Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivaswan Manave Praha Manurikshvakave Abravit Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarishayo Viduhu. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, no, Imam Vivasvade Yogam Proktavan. I only gave it to the Vivasvata Manu, who gave it to everybody else. So it is Bhagavan has given, so I have trust, and therefore it is Pramana for me. Means what? I have faith in that book. That's what they say. That is their Shruti Pramana. For us, the Pramanyam is to reveal your Swarupa. After that, Shruti falls off. Therefore, this even Veda comes under Aparavidya only. Except for Atmavastu Jnanam, everything is Aparavidya. There is only one Paravidya, which is Swarupa. And the words help reveal it. They are instruments, they are methodologies, that is, they are prakriya. We have our own respect because it helps reveal it. So the Shruti is a thing of respect and reverence because it is the window through which the vision takes place. However, we are not dogmatic. It is not like I am placing my faith till the time I give it a Swamiji used to say we give it a benefit of doubt. Because it has worked for others, it will also work for it. It should also work for me. So we give it a benefit. Shraddha, that is Shraddha. Shastra Vakyashu Shraddha. That is what we say. We are not like, it's not dogmatic, but at the same time, we give it that benefit of doubt because it can reveal the Brahma Vastu. That is how we look upon Shruti. Anyway, Gavadivat, Gavadivat napi jati. Now this jati guna kriya is negating. Okay, the Atma Vastu is not a jati like cow and all that, like leaf, like a bird. It's not a jati. Advitiyena samanya vishesha bhavat. It is not a samanya, nor vishesha, na kriyavatvam. It doesn't have action. Avikriyatva. These all visa. Napi gunavatvam. Niladivati. There is no attributes to Brahman because it is unobjectified. Ataha na abhidanena nirdesham arhati. So it is can't be revealed by giving it a name. Telling a name doesn't bring it to you. I think this is also Sasha Vishana, the Samatvat, Nirartagatvam Darhi. Then what is the use? What is the use of something? Maybe it is there. Okay. Maybe it is there. Brahman is there. But then neither jati nor guna nor kriya. See, what helps me in life are things which are either jati or guna or kriya or samavaya, sambandha. All these only can give me something. Like cars give me transport. Food give me, sumptuous food gives me some satisfaction and meets my physical needs. So all these are meaningful. Now this is neither jati nor guna nor kriya. So nirartakatvam, it's a waste. Let that Brahman be. How do I care? It doesn't help me, right? So Bhashyakara says, na atmatva avagame turiyasya anatma trishna vyavritti hetutvat shuktika avagame eva rajata trishnayaha. No, sir. It gives you the biggest benefit, which is anatma trishna vyavritti. All your longing and craving for all this anatma vastu, the whole life, you are battling, you are getting beaten around like your football or a tennis ball which goes from one end to the other. You are just getting shuttled around on all this anatma vishya trishna, which is unending from birth to death. You are after so many things, and which doesn't end, and it doesn't give you a satisfaction. You are a perpetually dissatisfied, unhappy person, and always craving for something which eventually ends up as another unhappy thing. It leaves a vasana which makes you again go after something very similar. Again, there is disappointment. This is what is life. This kind of a trishna is gone when the atmatva avagame. When this also, it is not nirartakam. Sashavishana means a rabbit's horn. What is the use of rabbit's horn? He is asking. He says, first of all, this is not rabbit's horn because rabbit's horn doesn't exist. Here, even though it is not jati guna kriya vastu sambandha and all that, it is still a sadvastu. It is an existence. In fact, it is the only existence. Not only that, it makes you free from the trishna. It liberates you. It takes the weight away. So it's like this, no? What is the use of Vedanta Shastra? Does it make me like any different? Yes, it will take the weight from. It's like if all your weight is taken away, there is no gravity pull, no? And you have wings, then you can just float. You can just go anywhere. There's nothing which is pulling you down. So suppose all the weight is removed, no? You are like floating, like levitating. And that is what Vedanta does. It just takes the weight away. There is no pull. There is nothing which is pushing you down. That is what is anatma trishna vyavritti hetuhu. It removes the anatma trishna. It just makes you free, liberates. That's what we want. What else we want? Whether we go to moksha or surga, doesn't matter. Today, the jnana takes place and I am free. That's it. That is what I want. I don't care whether there is rebirth. I don't care whether I go to heaven. How does it matter? What is the guarantee? How do we know that there is rebirth? How do we know that there is Swargadi? We don't know. Well, there is only one reality, which is now. Now is the only truth. Everything else is superimposed. Our notions, our memory, our anticipation. The only reality is the now. And that now, if you are free, then that is what we want. That is Atmatva Avagame, Anatma Trishna Vyavrittihi. This Anatma Trishna just goes away. This moment you become free, that's it. And you remain free. How? Shuktika Avagame Rajata Trishnayaha. The moment you know it is seashell or pebble, your craving for getting that silver which is lying there goes away. You think the silver is lying, somehow I need to go and get it because then I become richer. But then you know, no, there's no silver. Like that, there is no anatma. Where is anatma? What do you have to get? What is sukha that you are craving for? That sukha is you. You are the source of all sukha. In fact, there is no other source of sukha. And that is your Swarupa. Anantam Anandam Brahma. Because you long thinking that you are away from those things, and that sense of separation is what gives you that longing and unhappiness. But the moment you know Sarvada Sampluto Kastaniya, the Sarva Vyapi is your Swarupa, then you are free. There is no longing. Anatma Trishna Vyavritti Hetutvam is there in Atmatva Vagama. The Atma Jnana liberates. Nothing else will liberate. Your faith that God is there in Vaikunta, and then when I die, because I believe in this particular, that I will go to Vaikunta, it doesn't liberate you. It just creates an anticipation. And all the time you are under pressure. Am I doing the right thing? Am I disqualifying myself from going to Kailasa or Vaikunta or Krishna, Goloka Vrindavan or heaven? So you are under pressure all through your life. You are comparing. See, that person is Agraganya. He is getting the first Shatari. I am not getting. So maybe I am not, the right person to go to Vaikunta in the first row. This is what will happen. So there is no Trishna Vyavriti. Even that itself becomes a Trishna. Going to Vaikunta and Kailasa and Golok Vrindavan itself becomes a Trishna. Whereas I am Atma Brahma, Sarvam Brahma, and Tat Brahma Tvamasi, that Jnanam just liberates. You don't care about Kailasa, Vaikunta, because those are also you. There is no Kailasa or Vaikunta or Golok Vrindavan separate from you. There is no Ishvara who is separate from you. There is no Sriman Narayana separate from you. That is your Swarupa. That is Atmatva Avagamam. That Atma is Sarvatma. That is Turiya. This is Samashti Turiya. Samashtitvam is we already shown. There is no Veshti Samashti. So what you see as Veshti is Samashti. And Veshti and Samashti are both seen at the same time. We saw that. When I am a Vishwa, I not only recognize me, I also recognize the Jagat. So the Samashti Jagat is recognized along with the Vyashti. Samashti and Vyashti together are cognized as in the Vishwa or in Taijasa. So this Anatma Trishna goes away with Atmatva Avagama because Samashti Avagama is takes. Atma is not Prityagatma alone. I am Sakshi. Then what is being witnessed is also true, no? When I say I am Sakshi, I am a witness. I am separate from all that is being witnessed. So how does it help me liberate? So the Sakshi Pratyaksha and all is just to recognize yourself as separate from what other notions. But the Sarvatma is what has to be recognized. That is why here also this Vishwataijasa Prajna along with Samashti only Shastra talks. This Virat Hiranyagarbha Vairaja Ekatvam he spoke about, right? Shastra said. So the Vairaja Ekatvam means Samashtitvam, and that Samashti, the Adhyaropa Apavadabhyam Nishprapancham Prapanchate. So the whole Samashti is you. Then the Samashtitvam is Mithya. Vastu is Brahma. That is Nirguna Swarupa, and that is you. That Avagama, that recognition takes all the Trishna away, the longing. Nahi turiyasya atmatmavagame sati avidya Trishnadi doshanam sambhavaha asti. There is no possibility of Trishna once you have Turiyatva Avagama, Atma Avagama, because there is no second thing. Where is the question of Trishna? And there is no longing because your Swarupa itself is Ananda. So there is no unhappiness, no discontentedness. So you are not craving for more contentment. Because by nature, you know your Swarupa is Purna. You recognize that. That cognition has taken place because you know what is your Swarupa now. There is nothing other than that. So, avidya, trishnadi, dosha, sambhavaha eva nasti. There is no possibility, is what he says. It is not at all possible. Nacha turiyasya atmatvavagame karanamasti. Anavagame karanamasti. So, no. How can that kind of a turiya cognition take place? It has taken place for so many jnanis, for ages, and there are Shruti and somebody who is revealing it to you can't reveal it to you without that person cognizing it. So how can you say that there is no possibility of Avagama? Just because you are not in a position to recognize it now doesn't mean it is not possible. This is what happened to some of these acharyas, no? Who went to Advaita acharyas, who tried to listen, they didn't understand, then they created their own philosophies. And then concocted stories that they tried to kill me, this and that. Sarvopanishadam tadartyena upakshayat. Because Upanishads are also saying that, Shruti Vakyas are there. Now here, Shraddha, like I said. Shruti doesn't need to lie to you, no? Tattvamasi, why should it say? Or how does it benefit Shruti to say that you are Tat Swarupa, you are that? I am Atma Brahma. So many places it is revealing. Tat Satyam Sa Atma. Each one of them is a Mahavakya. Chandogya. Tat Satyam Sa Atma. Tad Sadeva Satyam. Sadeva Saumya Idamagrasi Ekameva Dvitiyam Tat Satyam Sa Atma Shvetaketu. That Sadvastu, which is become this Jagat, which was there without Namarupa earlier, which is now seen as Namarupa from Avyakta, the Avyakta Vyaktayas Sarva. From that Avyakta, this Vyakti, so this Sadvastu was there. See, there are two types of this Karanatvam is attributed to Brahman. And that Karanatvam, that is what is called Tatastha Lakshanam. Karanam Brahma, that Brahma which is Sadvastu is what is seen as Jagat now. But Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, that is Surupa Lakshana. So Tatastha Lakshanam, Surupa Lakshanam, both are revealing Brahman. One is Shiva, another is Mahavishnu. One is this Jagat from the Shrishta Jagat, you look at the Brahma Vastu. Another is Neti 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 Iti, you look at Sadvastu alone, Karanam Brahma. From Karya, you look at Brahman. From Karana, you look at Brahman. Both are ways to recognize what is Brahman. That's where the Srishti thing, people get confused. What is the Srishti? Is there a real Srishti? How does Vedanta agree with Darwin's theory of evolution or Big Bang theory? So all these questions come. We are not committed to any theory of creation because we are focused on what is the Satyam, what is Sadvastu. There is no point explaining because every theory of creation is only a hypothesis. There is no how nobody can conclusively say this is how creation happened, right? Shastra has a perspective. See, we have this cyclic thing. There is no, time doesn't start in time, is how we say. Anyway, Tat Satyam Sa Atma. So that Sadvastu is Satyam, and that is you. Again, Tattvamasi Shvetaketo comes after that. The same, you see that, right? Tattvamasi is Chandogya 687. Tat Satyam Sa Atma also is 687. Yat Sakshat Aparokshat Brahma Sabahya Abhyantaraha Ajaha Hi Ajaha. That is unborn, and it is the indweller, and it is what is outside. Means what? It's the only thing which is there. Atmaiva idaham sarvam. All that is here is Atmastu alone, 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 alone. So many places Vedanta says this. So you have no basis to say it can't be true. That means unless you have some, vengeance against Veda, and without any analysis, any basis, you can't refute it. People have gained this jnanam using these vakyas. And it's not like 1 or 2, thousands and thousands have gained this jnana. So you have no basis to counter that, negate it, just because you don't understand. You are the loser. Mahati vinashtihi. Veda doesn't care. Shruti doesn't care. Jnanis don't care. What you tell about Veda it's up to you. But if that Shraddha is there, then the jnanam takes place. Then you are freed. Soyamatma paramartha paramartha rupaha chatushpaditi uktaha. This Paramartha Atma and Aparamartha Atma, both are spoken about. That's why we say Karya Brahma, Karana Brahma. See, that has to be understood. See, Tasya Aparamartha Rupam Avidyagritam Rajju Sarpadi Samam Uktam Padatraya Lakshanam Bijangurasthaniyam. There is a Aparamartha Brahma. What is Aparamartha Brahma? Srishta Jagat. There's 3 avasthas in the manifested Jagat. That is Aparamartha Brahma. Now, ata idanim abhijatmakam paramarthaswarupam rajjusthaniyam sarpadisthani yokta sthanatraya nirakaranenaha nantah prajnam ityadi. Now, this nirguna vastu is paramartha brahma. That is saguna brahma, which is Ishvara, is aparamartha brahma. Nirguna brahma, which is nothing but Swarupa alone, is Paramartha Rupa Brahma. This is what people don't understand. What is Ishvara? What is Brahman? And then they say, you are Mayavadi, Mayavadi, Mayavadi. Hey, where is Bhashyakara? Has he used the word Maya anywhere here? Paramartha Brahma, everything is Brahma. But Aparamarthataha means with all name and form. So it is not, it is Brahman, but it is not an essential Brahman. See, the way, I don't know how to use that. For example, this A is B, B is not A, is what the Swamiji says, right? Pot is Aparamartha clay. Clay lump is Paramartha clay. Okay, what is the difference? Both are clay only. Pot is nothing but clay. There is, if you take the clay out, there is no pot. When you touch the pot, you touch the clay. When you weigh the pot, you weigh the same clay. But it is called Aparamartha clay. Whereas the lump of clay is Paramartha clay, because there is only clay, there is no partness there. You don't recognize any partness. You recognize only clayness. It doesn't have a shape. I mean, you call it again, lump is another shape, but it's a limited example. So you have to understand the Paramartha clay is a lump of clay. Aparamartha clay is the pot clay. Likewise, Aparamartha Rupam Avidyagritam Rajju Sarpadi Samam. The snake which is seen on the rope is Aparamartha. So it is only rope, but you are seeing snake. So you can call the snake as Aparamartha Rajju. Paramartha Rajju is Rajju itself. Likewise, Bijankarasthaniyam, the seed form is what is seed and sprout form, like the Srishta Jagat is Aparamartha Brahma. Whereas what is now going to be spoken about is Parama, that is the Turiya, Paramartha Swarupam. That is Rajusthaniyam Sarpadisthaniyokta Sthanatraya Nirakaranena. All the three sthana, which is Jagra Sushupti, Swapna Avastha, or this Vishwa Tejasa Prajna Avastha, by negating that at all, by negating means what? You are negating the snake. Means what? Snake was never there. It's not that you are negating. You are showing that there was never any snake. All that was there all the time was only rope. You saw a snake. Like that, all that was ever there is Brahman. There was no time, there was no space, there was no objects, there was no Jagat, there was no Avastha and all that. So all as though Jagat is visible, as though Swapna Avastha, as though Jagrada Avastha, as though Sushupti Avastha. So all as though, because there is no substance, it is not an independent, it's not an independent reality. These are all dependent reality. When you see Brahman, there is no Jagat. But whenever you see Jagat, you cannot but see the Brahman there. Like whenever you see a pot, you have to see the clay. But whenever you have to see the clay, you don't necessarily need to see the pot, because potness is incidental on clay. Clay is Satyam. Likewise, Turiyam is Satyam. All this Jagat and these three avasthas are just incidental. So Sadeva Satyam. So this Aparamartha, both are Brahman. So from Drishti of Jagat, we call it as Aparamartha Brahman or Saguna Brahman. But from Vastu perspective, it is Paramartha Brahman or Nirguna Brahma. We'll see Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.